Well, folks, another monumental AEW Dynamite in the books. I've been promised a surprise on this show, which has alarmed me greatly. Let's put our names back on the screen there because we do not have an overlay for this program, which is fourth. Um, this is the Dynamite Review. I'm joined by two of the great grinners of our time. Bobby O'Neill, for your second week straight on this program. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, man. I thought the show was pretty good, and I'm excited to be here. And it's my weekend already, so it's good stuff.
What are you going to be doing these next few days, Bobby, with this extended weekend?
I will be watching about 10 to 12 hours of college basketball each of the next 2 days, and then probably about 8 to 10 on Saturday and Sunday.
Bootlicker. Oracle, how are you on this wonderful Wednesday evening?
I'll be watching about 6 to 8 hours of 1996 wrestling Friday or Saturday, and then about another 6 to 8 hours on Sunday. No, hopefully not that much. Maybe. You never know. Otherwise, I'm good.
This is going to be an interesting show. I've done enough of these to know I can read energy. I couldn't be on the the screen for long beforehand, so I was playing clips to keep Bob entertained while I got my setup ready. And when I came back, Oracle said to me, "Did you hear what I said?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Well, I'll save it." And there was this sense that I had been set up, much like Joe Pesci in Goodfellas, which I now spoil on every show. There was a sense it was a trap I was walking into here. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about Dynamite segment by segment. I'm looking at the chat here. I did also think about this, which scared me quite a bit. The element of a bloodbath here as we all wear white, which seems haunting. People are very fired up. This show may ruin their grin. Let's see. We start at the top, as we always do. Trios match, one booked right for the Oracle of Wrestling, a PWG, spot fest. I liked it quite a bit. I think Adam Cole and Jungle Boy have tremendous chemistry. They got double heat. Oracle, which I tweeted at you in all caps. Luchasaurus taking the first. I knew we wasn't going to escape with just that. He had to get a hot tag too, which we got to later. They built to they did the old school deal, building to the top guys going head to head with Cole and Hangman. And what else do I have here? Oh yes, there was that awesome double Doomsday gimmick. Bobby, this strikes me saying more your taste than the Oracle of Wrestling's. What did you think of it?
Yeah, and even though I don't really want the Cole and Hangman feud to continue, this did work for me. I like these kind of matches to open the show, kind of get the energy up. And I think they did their job. It went, I think, about the right amount of time. It wasn't too long. I didn't get bored of it or whatever, and I think it did its job. I was entertained. And like I said, for not wanting the feud to continue, for this match to win me over, I think is a positive for them.
It definitely took the very energetic crowd and led them in the right direction, right? Gave them something to talk about, got them something to get fired up about, which was fun. Oracle, did you break anything around you when you was watching this one?
No. I mean, this was fine. I thought it was really good. I just, Luchasaurus just, he's not very good. There were a couple of spots that were bad, like Adam Cole's enziguri to cut off. Was it Jungle Boy? I mean, or didn't even connect. Then he hurt him. Then he did a flat back bump. It was kind of embarrassing. But there was. I actually didn't mind the Doomsday spot. I thought that was kind of neat. Adam Page's hot tag was incredible early on. He was great in this match. I really like Bobby Fish in this because he's just a smart wrestler. He doesn't I don't know. He just doesn't do too much. Kyle O'Reilly was really good in this too. His mannerisms annoy me. But it was good. I didn't like it as much as probably a lot of other people did, but I thought it was a really good match, honestly.
Okay, well, good. It feels like these trios titles are such a easy fit for this product, right? Trios titles is such a natural fit. It feels like something they're inevitably going to do. I think Tony Khan's answer at the last presser was very telling in that regard. I thought it was a really good way to start the show. I actually think unless you have a hot talking segment, you should probably strive for this type of match to lead off the show most weeks. Bob, do you think that's a fair assessment?
Absolutely. Yeah. Before they aired the pre-shows or whatever, WWE would do it to lead off pay-per-views that it was big multi-man tag matches for the people in the building. It just works, man. It gets people going, and it's a good start.
It's provocative.
Yes.
As Cody says, slap a like on this video, you pieces of shit. I didn't say that. I was just reading the comments as I often do. You could also send a tip at streamlabs.com/late night grin. As you see the Oracle of Wrestling, show that mug again there, Oracle. Fucking rules. Look at that. Look at that. Pop. One of the greatest late night grin moments ever where we all realized that Oracle was just announcing his own pops. Incredible. Incredible moment. Nonetheless, we move forward. Keith Lee, they did a segment here where Team Taz agreed not to kick the shit out of him. They said they talked about him wrestling Max Caster. They did a follow up to this later. Ricky was tremendous here, but the real takeaway, increasing kind of slow burn on this Keith Lee arc that we're taking here. He was mean here, right? He had an edge and stuff. He wasn't just he wasn't doing the other thing he does sometimes on the microphone. He's popping me in this run. Oracle, Keith Lee, he feels like he's taken everything I didn't like about him and removed it. Fucking rules.
Yeah. I mean, Ricky Starks was great here. So was Hobbs. They're both just really, really good. I really appreciated Keith Lee just saying, "I punched you and you hit the floor like a bitch." That was just simple. You don't have to use big vocabulary and shit like that. I don't know, that stuff where he says vocabulary and all that shit's annoying. So I'm just glad to see that he is basically sounding like a badass and
yeah.
Simplifying things. I'm enjoying Keith Lee a good bit. Probably the most I have enjoyed him since the Indies in 5 years.
Shout out Gabe Sapolsky.
Yep.
Bob, your thoughts on this little backstage segment here?
Yeah, I like it. I'm really excited to see him wrestle either of Hobbs or Ricky Starks. And yeah, they're keeping it simple and it's working. And this is probably how Keith Lee should have been used for the past however many years. But he's here now. He's being used right, and it's good to see.
Chris Statlander appears to be getting very serious, folks. She was removing her makeup, which seemingly made Jim Ross mad. He seemed angry about this. He made a slide about this. Tony Schiavone said that he said something that made me text shoot pervert. He wasn't actually pervert, but it popped me. Bob, what do you think of this? This seemingly, this seeming shift in direction, this sudden shift in direction.
It is a little sudden, but you kind of have to do it eventually, or she's going to be boxed in for her whole career. So you might as well just do it, right? She's very good in the ring, and I do think as fun as the stuff she's been doing is, it does kind of limit her a little bit, and this will maybe not do that.
Oracle, what do you think?
This potential likely Statlander change.
Yeah, what do you think about it as an idea?
I think it's probably a good idea. I mean, gimmicks like hers get over and with an AEW audience. But from a standpoint of, for me personally, I enjoy it because that means it's just kind of more serious.
Yeah.
I don't really know where they're gonna go with it. I guess I don't know if it's I don't know. It's hard to it's kind of hard to
hard to see what it's going to be, right?
Yeah. It's tough.
I got to be careful with it because the last thing the division needs is another person that just doesn't have much character. Chris was fun and likable, immediately likable. So just be careful. As long as you have an idea of where it's going, that's all.
Right.
Which I'm sure they don't. That was not me. We haven't seen it yet, right? But that was my only thing. Okay. Up next, Danielson Moxley against Chuck Taylor and Wheeler Yuta, or as Regal crowned him tonight, Wheeler Yuta, which is now what we will call him moving forward on the Late Night Grin. Let me tell you something, folks. When Regal walked over to commentary, I fucking I can't tell you how excited. I've never been so excited to see a man join the commentary desk because he's tremendous in this role. And more than that, he has incredible chemistry with JR, which is like, at this point, is a pop, right? And immediately it was like comfort. It was incredible. This match was tremendous, and it did what it's supposed to do in terms of you. However, if I was being very picky, I would have trimmed the heat slightly. But the point here was this. Here's where I'm at on this, folks. This is the early days. We're in the opening weeks of this program. I think this is clearly the most interesting thing in the whole promotion. I think this whole scenario is like genuinely fantasy booking playing out. And so it's insane the amount of talent involved in this thing. It's magic. I love where this is going. This did an incredible job of getting Yuta over, which has previously been a struggle because of the position he's been put in. A big hit for me, Bobby. What did you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought it could have been a little bit shorter in the middle, but other than that, it's fine. And it is really interesting because they're not building to a match. They already did the match, so it's like the options they have here and the roads they could take, and how long it could last. It is a lot of fun because it doesn't seem like anything's off the table.
Fucking rules, Oracle. What do you think?
Are we just talking about just like the faction in general or the match?
Go with the match, and then we'll talk about the angle.
The match was way too long. Yeah, I'm being mean tonight. But I mean, like the work was great. Like the work was fucking awesome. It was just way too long. Why did it go this long?
Yeah, they see Chuck. They're not going to just beat Chuck. I know you would.
It's too long. It's too long. But the post match was awesome. Regal was great on commentary. He was hilarious on commentary and great.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the gothic waif on?
Amazing line. He was great for the whole thing, man. He's incredible.
Yeah. The post match with Yuta was just awesome, man. Like, that was really interesting stuff. Yeah, I don't know, like, this thing they could do is, I mean, somebody said it. AC said it. Just said it in the chat. They could always build to a.
Yeah.
Of course, that seems like something far down the line.
It does.
But maybe not. I mean, I could totally see Eddie Kingston joining up with Danielson and
that would be interesting if they actually try and do that. That'd be really interesting because of the Danielson element, right?
Mm-hmm. But I think that's interesting, and I think that's fun to do.
Yeah, I do too.
I'd actually really be down for that, even though I have some very harsh things to say about the Jericho segment, but hated it. But we'll.
Oh no, this is bad.
That's a surprise for you right there. I could not stand it, but I mean, Vince Russo, I'm tired of his shit. But the
we'll get there.
Yeah, this is interesting stuff. Like I was a mark for Catch Point and shit back in Gabe's Evolve, Gabe Pop, and
Gabe Pop, factual, always Gabe Pop.
I don't know. I dig stuff like that, but I don't know. It's tough to say where they're going to go. There, I think that they're eventually going to recruit people or do something like that, right? Like they've already teased it. Now they've actually done a segment that they're.
The line where he was like, where Regal goes, this place is great, but it needs more professional wrestlers. It's fucking so interesting, this dynamic that like Regal and Danielson want to like fix the promotion, and we don't really know if Mox gives a shit about any of that. It's like, I don't know, man, it just rules. I don't know. I don't know how you actually book it. That's why it interests me. Like everything else, I can kind of figure out where it's going. I have no clue what you do with this. That's what's so interesting about it. They're probably winning the tag titles, but then like when you add, it's wild. I don't know. I'm very excited to see where it goes. Yes, big thumbs up from me. The post-match, Regal was incredible in the post-match, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Tremendous. FTR promo, Bucks interrupted. They seemingly teased Bret the Hitman Hart. Bob, what the fuck?
Yeah, that would rule, huh?
There's no way, right?
Listen, for one night, if you're going to already run a big building in Vegas and, you keep talking about this big fight field thing, load it up, man. Why not?
That would be like so layered because if they're wrestling the Bucks too.
Yeah. Well, that night's the final of the Owen tournament too. So, I mean, it makes sense.
Bobby. Is that a scoop?
No, not yet.
We'll see if it's right first.
It seems like we do accidentally break news on here with our booking. So
we do. We certainly do.
Yeah.
Oracle, we're gonna get Bret the Hitman Hart.
Man, tell you, they teased it. Seemed like it.
Factual.
This is not a company that really abandons teases like that often, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They usually capitalize them and deliver them.
Yeah, this is gonna be a.
How long he's around, I don't know.
Feels like a one-off, right? But that's enough, I think, for us
Mhm.
to pop.
Yes.
It'd be insane. Absolutely insane. Okay, we're almost there. There was a segment with the Acclaimed. Great reaction for Swerve entering the scene there and going head to head with Starks. We may indeed get a Keith and Swerve versus Team Taz match here shortly, which sounds incredible. Oracle, any thoughts on this before we get to the bloodbath that will be the Jericho segment?
I don't really know. I
Fair.
just the Acclaim don't really do anything for me. I like Bowens a lot, but Max Caster just I don't know.
Bob, you're a big fan.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a contrarian today. But
this next segment, Oracle, I'm going to get mad. Bob,
it's okay.
Did you like this Swerve situation?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I think it got the job done. Kind of showed all the guys as they needed to be, and if they do Keith and Swerve against Team Taz, that's gonna be very good.
Factual. Right, it's time. Let's get this out of the way. Let's take this head on. Chris Jericho came out and produced one of the greatest segments in professional wrestling history. A segment so good that Bob texted me directly and said, "This is incredible." I replied, "This is high art." A segment in which Chris Jericho did layers upon layers upon layers of performance art, including at one point changing wrestlers' names on the fly with no explanation. After explaining that they only use real names while using a fake name. He made many people mad, and I thought my friend the Oracle of Wrestling was above this. He appears to have fallen victim to the great workmanship of one Christopher Jericho. Oracle, I'll let you speak for yourself in a moment, I promise, but let me just, I've got a lot to talk about here, okay?
Okay.
When Daniel Garcia grabbed the microphone and pretended he was mad about it and then said, "That makes me a sports entertainer," and then looked down the camera, let me tell you something. My God.
That's my dryer.
Okay, fair.
That's what I think of your. That's what I think of your opinion.
I've never been so happy watching this program. It was, as the Confirmed Shoot said, a WWF Mecca faction on national television. He's lost his mind. He's so hurt by the fact that Eddie Kingston beat him in a fist fight that he has decided he does a completely different thing altogether, and he cannot be beaten as a professional wrestler because he no longer is one. He is a sports entertainer. He has embraced the one thing the audience truly hates, making them boo him. After cheering his whole entrance and opening spiel, he gave them incredible names. Jake Hager's part of the promo was fucking hilarious because it was so bad. He just said one line and it was bad. This was incredible. Before I go to your Oracle, Bob, you text me. You were as excited as I was. This is our kind of content, wasn't it?
Yeah, I loved it. Just it was inside without being too inside, and I think that was the point, over the top about it, and it worked, man. Jericho, I know he's hit or miss, but his promos are usually still good. This one was very good, and the name change part really put it over the top.
It feels like he's back, Bob.
It does,
back.
yeah.
The Garcia thing is so perfect.
Mhm.
This is such a better fit for him than him just being like serious wrestler rookie. I think so much better. I love it. Absolutely love the segment. Oracle, you hated it. You dare use the name of Vince Russo on this program. Please explain.
I can explain in thorough, or I can just give you a simple explanation of what I'm going to do going forward.
Okay. You can pick between those.
Okay, I'm going to go for the latter first,
Oh.
and then if you want me to explain a little bit further, I'll try. Unless the Mad King Eddie Kingston is involved, which he will be some. I'll be changing the channel, and I'll be fast forwarding if I have to. That's how much I disliked it.
Okay, now you can explain.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think your explanation is wrong. The one positive, I'll give a positive. This whole thing wasn't terrible. I do like that Jericho changes his character, right? He changed it, new version of himself. That's fine. I like that he put over, Garcia and 2.0, whatever the fuck they're called now. Who cares? That's fine. I like that part. I guess I'm getting worked. I don't know, whatever. But it's very Russo. See, Meech is with me. Like it doesn't have quite the absurd twist that a Russo has, right? Like, to be fair. But like, in terms of the meta language and the insider stuff, it's way too much for me. Even though I know it's like I like your description was accurate. I just don't want that. I don't want that in my wrestling. Like, I don't know. It's just not for me. Saying things like angles and storylines on live television is cringeworthy to me.
That's fair. I would have left out angles and storylines.
It's just honestly like it's like I legitimately probably won't watch these segments. I mean, obviously Eddie Kingston will be involved, and I can't turn Eddie off, so I'm gonna be kind of forced to watch shit that I don't want to see.
Blood and
But,
guts.
like, it's just not for me, man.
Do you not think the sports entertainer thing though works like that? Is an inside to me. That's as Bob said. Bob's description was good of like if you're a nerd like us, you get a different level of pop out of it, but it just sounds like a pretentious arsehole to someone else. That's my read on it. I don't know. What Bob would explain that because you actually use. I thought that was a good point on your part. Just kind of
feels like on the surface, kind of like you said, he could be like, "Oh, I'm different than everyone here," but like the people that actually get it realize that it's ironic and
like he's basically doing Vince on TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like who is the absolute antithesis of the idea of a sports entertainer? Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
I honestly, Oracle, I'm not going to do a bit. I think it's perfect.
You know what else? I think I don't like the idea of using the like very silly and divisive AEW WWE sort of Twitter feud going on between bootlickers as a faction.
Okay, that's where we're split.
I think it's stupid. Like I just don't want to see that, dude. I don't want to see it. Like it's not for me. I think part of it is like I don't know, man. Like it's not for me.
That's fine. A lot of my pals on the timeline didn't like it. I get it.
It's just bad. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You're okay. You can not like stuff. Maybe it is as simple as that concept that you dislike popped Bob and I tremendously. I think is maybe what happened here.
Right.
Because I think it works on the surface. That's the key to me. Like I really think if someone didn't know any of that, they would think
because the fans are buying into it and eating it up. It's just not me, but it's fine.
What do you think about this fit for Garcia?
That's what the fast forward button's for. Well, I mean, I don't know. It will be kind of funny for him to like work like an actual pro wrestler and then like pretend that he's a sports entertainer.
Fucking raw, man.
That's
He like does a
that's
taunt. Oh,
yeah. That's kind of funny. But I mean, I don't know. I just irony. I don't know. They're like, I'm bad. I'm mean.
look, a lot of people didn't like this. You're fine. You don't have to pull punches. You can just say why and the fact you didn't. You're good. No one's mad.
I
So
think
it's
it
fine.
sucked. It doesn't appeal to me.
Fair.
Like the meta ironic, let's create like a WWF mecha group, to me is like it's too like it's it's too on the nose. It caters almost too much to the bad side of what I can like to some of the bad aspects of like wrestling social media and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's like I think someone could actually argue that it would actually make the bad side of that wrestling social media more lighthearted. I actually think there's an argument to be made about that. But I don't know. It's just not for me.
I think you may be, and I say this as someone that's right there with you but just reacted differently. I think you may be too aware of what that Twitter thing looks like. Because you and I know how bad it gets, but I think we maybe overestimate how much of that was apparent to the audience watching. Like, I think at core, this story is this particular audience resents the notion of a sports entertainer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think yes, Bob and I get and further enjoyment out of the mecha element, but I don't think that's what this lives and dies on. I think this works very simply. It's just that particular part of it is very fucking funny. The name part, I'm sorry, I laughed at that. To me, it isn't breaking the kind of rules of wrestling. It's just it works on both levels. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just that was silly, but also I think I don't know. I know Jericho. He's going to continue to use all these. It's just. I mean, I know he's not going to go out there and go, pull a, New Blood Rising and just leave in the middle of the match.
Exactly, you're right. Yeah.
But it's like, look. Shane Douglas, did his thing 25 years ago. We don't need to see it again.
That's spiteful. That was venomous. That was venomous, Oracle. That was spiteful. Let's not lash out. We're all friends here, okay? We're all friends. I think you are going to... Here's my prediction, folks, okay? I think that Oracle is going to apologize to me in a month when Chris Jericho goes coast to coast in blood and guts, while Eddie Kingston screams, "This is what a professional looks like, motherfucker," and punches him in the head, and Santana and Ortiz grab forks.
Yeah, I mean, that would pop me.
That's where we're going, brother.
I know that's what we're
King's
going.
going to do a pre-tape with like a cage behind him where he explains that wrestlers are about blood and guts.
I'm well aware that's what we're going to see.
Chris is going to sell it like he's...
And they're going to team up with Danielson and Mox.
Yeah. Chris is going to sell it like he's never been in blood and guts, even though he was in the only other blood and guts match they did. It's going to be incredible. Bob, can you any final touches on this segment that we love so much and we text about like little school kids?
No, again, I think it was very good. Oracle, I wouldn't worry too much. There's stuff coming up that I don't like that I think everyone else liked. So, it happens, man.
Pop.
What is this new thing of you guys like threatening me with how you're going to
hold on now. Josh, yes. He's not going to watch it. I said if the Mad King's involved, I will watch it, which will force me to watch a lot of these.
Power of Eddie Kingston. But it rules that if this was an Eddie Kingston program, I'd probably just be in agreement with Oracle. God bless me. I'm happy. Serena Deeb, pre-tape. Bob, are you relieved that Shoot isn't on this show and he can't scream at us about Serena Deeb? He gets really aggressive, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Have you ever been frightened when he does that? I am sometimes.
Yeah, he gets really fired up, man.
Last night on the AEW Dark Grin Along Oracle, he did this motion. Slammed his hand down on the side of his chair. I imagine he does that every time that Serena wrestles on television or talks. So, any thoughts on this this little promo here, Oracle, Bobby? Anything in particular?
No, not really. I think it kind of sets up their match again nicely for they've obviously wrestled a couple times the past couple months, and this kind of gives it a little bit of a fresh element. But
pulled that punch a little bit there, Bobby, didn't you? Bobby said they've wrestled a couple times. He saw the chat was flaming Oracle, so I ain't taking none of that heat. I'm just going to say a couple times. Oracle, are you excited to see Shida Serena 5? Yes, 5, right?
Real quick, let me answer Josh's questions.
Okay.
Josh Baker's questions.
Yeah.
No, I thought that was terrible. The previous one, I did like Festival of Friendship a lot. Yes. The musical number was embarrassing.
Sorry.
But I did think the Festival of Friendship was outstanding.
Well, how would you feel about recreating? How would you feel about recreating that MJF Jericho scene with one of the Grinners? And if so, which Grinner would you choose?
I would have to do it with Oracle, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Especially after what he just said.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to play the role of Jericho and get really red? Sweat profusely. Tremendous. All right. Wardlow, Scorpio Sky, TNT title. This was interesting because they were clearly in a situation where they had to achieve many different things at once. I think they mostly pulled it off. I've personally thought, and this was very, very polarizing on the timeline. So if you guys disagree, that's fine. We're all friends here for now. I personally thought they actually presented Scorpio in a fine fashion. It may be because I had picture-in-picture too, but I actually thought they made him look pretty damn competent in the meat of the match. Personally, that's just me, okay? I feared worse would be the case. So that's just my take. My one thing was I wish the crowd bought Wardlow was going to win more than they did because they didn't really. And you could tell that. You could feel it, which was a slight shame. As Josh mentions, Dan Lambert wearing the belt fucking rules. This whole act looks incredible. Hilarious act that I've decided I like because Dan Lambert stopped talking. The one thing I'll say is, as well as Wardlow sold it, and he did sell it well, I wish there was something slightly more creative to the interference itself. I wish there was a little more spice to it, just something a little bit more dramatic. We'll talk about the post-match after. Let's start with the match. Bob, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with you. Maybe Wardlow, after the power bombs, goes for the pin, and then Sean Spears pulls the ref out or something. Just spice it up a little bit more. But yeah, no, I don't think Scorpio looked bad in this. Everyone was like, oh, you knew what the result was going to be. You knew there was going to be interference and all that. But I think in spite of all that, he still looked fine. It did what it had to do. And, that's all there really is for me to say about it. As a match, it was kind of just there, but as a storytelling device, it did what it had to do.
Oracle, what do you think of the match and then the finish?
The match was not really much of anything. I don't really have an opinion on the match one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fine. I didn't think either guy really looked bad per se.
Right.
I don't think this had quite as much heat as I would have liked to.
Yeah.
The match and the post match.
It didn't feel quite as main event as you wanted, right?
Yeah. I think I don't know. It just I don't know if it was the placement of the segment or what.
Following that Jericho promo, man, they said, it's too good, right?
Regardless of my thoughts on it, the crowd was pretty hot for it, I think. So I mean, it's the match itself was fine. I didn't have any problem with it, but I also don't think it's. I never thought the match was going to be anything special though, because it was always going to be a backdrop for the turn, or not the turn, but for the for MJF officially starting his feud with Wardlow. Yeah. So
I wish they did. I wish they made it more dramatic, where MJF coming in really got a big gasp from the people. It was I just wish it had more. It was more exciting the way he came in, but that's that is what it is. They were into Wardlow, but he is an investment in the result, and they never seem to buy Wardlow's winning that belt To me, anyway, that's just my read on it. I didn't think I ever thought he was going to win it, and that's wrestling is what it is. This audience was very smart, and I think they kind of felt there were going to be an interference, which is why the reaction was where it was. Before we talk about the post match, I've been informed of some information from my friend and yours, the world famous confirmed shoot. He's informed me that world famous professional wrestler Brie Bella was backstage at AEW Dynamite. As of this moment, he is unsure of any negotiations that may or may not have taken place, but he wanted to inform me that. I believe his source is Instagram, so I recommend everyone investigate that accordingly. Bob, your thoughts on a huge signing for AEW?
That would be a big shift.
Yeah. What kind of match do you think Britt Baker and Brie Bella could have, Bobby?
I'm not going to answer that.
Give me a star rating, Gage. Give me a range.
Somewhere between, 2 and
2
and
2.
3.5.
That's an interesting range. I'm not ask you on that one. I'm going to let Bob just have that one.
All I was going to say is, if she does, don't put her in the ring with Britt Baker. That was literally what I was going to say. Anyways, moving on.
I'm sure. So what did you guys think of the post-match? I like the deal with Lambert and the money exchange. That stuff pops me. I'm sorry. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I like the people chanting for Punk. I thought the post-match was a lot better than the actual finish itself. Oracle, you seemed unsure. What do you think?
I thought it was executed fine, honestly. It's just I wish there was a little bit more heat to it. I don't know if that's a bad thing for the feud. I don't think it really means yet. I think it's, Wardlow's an ongoing project, so I don't think that there's any concern quite yet. But I mean, ultimately, I was a little disappointed just because I wanted it to be a little bit more, buzzworthy, I guess.
Following that Jericho Appreciation Society, brother, it's Mission Impossible. We couldn't even do that. This is factual. In fairness, this was one part that got a great reaction when he was going to get to MJF. That's good shit. Shout out also to a guy Hester who's tweeted about this and was spot on. Jim Ross, a little bit of moment of magic when he pointed out that Wardlow has built up a lot of enemies. That was very nicely done by JR, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little thing, subtle thing, but it explains to the audience why he was left all alone. Why would anyone help Wardlow, right? He's been helping this dude win for 2 years. I like stuff like that. It was a good job. We had a Jade promo. I did not actually hear the audio to this because I was listening to something else, which I'll not reference as of this particular moment in time. I texted the confirmed shoot, what did Jade say? And he claimed that she actually buried me and named me directly. So, Bob, your thoughts on your friend Joe Holbert being buried on AEW Dynamite?
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but, you shouldn't have been so hard on Jade for the past few months, and you got what you deserved.
Oh, wow. That was a little much. Was that revenge for asking you about the star rating thing?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Oracle, what do you think they're going with this Jade, this next Jade match? Feels like a big one's coming, doesn't it?
Goldberg.
Okay, Oracle, give me a star rating gauge on that one.
Well, I mean, Goldberg will be blown up early in the match. So
how long is it going?
maybe 2.5. Jade's got to win with the what is it, the Jaded or whatever?
Yeah. Jaded.
Yeah.
Could you get Bill up for that one?
Maybe.
Can Bill get up for that one? Is what I should ask.
Jade's a pretty strong gal.
Yeah, Bill was more my concern than Jade, in fairness. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting. It feels like St. Biz coming. I agree with Charlotte Safina feels likely. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Okay. The Hardys are here. They wrestled Private Party. Bob, can you do an impression of that voice at the start of Private Party's theme? Don't do it. Don't be problematic, though.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. The Hardys are over. They wrestled Private Party. Bob, can you do an impression of that voice at the start of Private Party's theme? Don't do it. Don't be problematic, though. No, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. The Hardys are over. They wrestled Private Party. Shocking, I know. New development here every day. They're over huge. The match itself was pretty simple, especially for the first, 2/3, 3/4, whatever you want to say. It was a build to Jeff's hot tag, and listen, say what you will, care as much or as little as you want. They reacted to this hot tag like it was 1986 and Hoot Gibson was on the apron. I mean, good. Were they ready to see Jeff Hardy or what? It was insane. Jeff looks like he's in agony, but God bless him. The setup for that hot tag was an incredible bit spot. That deal where they went for their own like poetry in motion and Matt clotheslined. I think it was Isaiah out of the air and he like took a bump on Quinn's back. Did you see that shit? That was violent, man. Place went nuts for the hot tag. They played the hits, went back and forth a little bit, and went home. It was a hit. I'm not even look. I don't worry about guys' health and stuff because it's their lives, right? But like I think Jeff's. I've said this before. I think Jeff's look can be slightly deceiving. Like, I think that dude's spinning it, man. I really do. But I enjoyed the match for what it was. Oracle, what did you think?
It was fine. I just 5 years ago, this popped me.
Yeah.
5 years later, I don't know, man. That's 5 years later. These guys were. It's just their bodies are just.
I legit thought this exact same thing. Like, God bless him, man. But like, oh my God, he just looks like he's in pain. So it's a strange situation.
Yeah, I mean they're over.
Oh God,
obviously, it's just, man.
The Swanton was terrifying too. Like that angle, his neck was being my part.
Matt can't walk. Jeff is like in pain the whole time. It's just, kind of rough. But
like, look, this is. I knew me should be the one that dunked this. What I mean by this is, I never want to be one of those accounts, one of those voices that like I don't know how these dudes feel. So I ain't trying to sit here and police them. I'm not their dad, but what I am trying to say is like,
it appears.
It certainly appears that poor Jeff is. Yeah, he looked like he was feeling it a little bit. Bob, what did you think of the match?
It was good. It was a little too long, especially in the context of the rest of the show, because you kind of feel that some stuff probably had some time cut from it. But like, they played the hits. I think it's what everyone wanted to see. Personally, I would think I would have liked a little more build to, the Hardys and Private Party stuff instead of just announcing it cold, 5 hours ago or whatever they did. But like, that might kind of be a nitpick too. Like, there's only so much you can do with that. It's obviously going to just be a TV match, but
I get
don't
you.
know.
I think,
I mean,
there's a middle ground, right? Like where you're not saying you're mad about it, but it does feel like they could have given it a bit more juice. Like,
yeah, because it feels like it could have been kind of a big spot for Private Party, and it probably still was. But like, are they better, more well regarded right now than they were, 6 hours ago?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. There was a debate about this, and I do get the pushback on people complaining because it's like it's a Hardy's match. Stop complaining. But I do get it. But at the same time, I just think there's a kind of general concern, and I think we all agree this isn't really a thing for AEW, but just broadly speaking, about just throwing matches out there like that. It feels like this one could have been allowed to cook a little bit. That's all. What do we think, guys? Like, where's our excitement level at on the Hardy thing? Chat, you do this. Like, I'm intrigued. Give me like a rating out of 10, chat, for how excited you are for Jeff. Like, Jeff and Matt as a team in AEW. Because I know there's a lot of dream matches, but I don't know, guys. I don't want to be a great big fucking hater, but I just find it hard to really get excited for said dream matches. They're not really very dreamlike for me anymore.
I'll say this. I think Jeff Darby is worth building to and doing, and I think they will.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they'll do the tag with Sting? I think they'll do that too.
Yeah, maybe so. Other than that, no. I think that's the only thing worth.
I think. See, did they ever wrestle FTR?
I can check real quick.
Got a lot of sevens. A lot of sevens in the chat.
No.
Tope with a 3, but mostly sevens.
Yeah, I don't think they did, but let me see.
Which is I think 7's a very fair rating of people love the Hardys, but everyone agrees that, is what it is, right? Yeah, it's interesting. FTR match is interesting because if you actually watch, and Oracle, you know this better than me, but like more and more the Hardys, when they haven't got ladders in there, they actually just work very traditional tag matches. And if any team's going to get those maximized, it's FTR, right? So it feels like that's one that could be good. Beyond that, I'm struggling a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it is what it is. I think, I'm happy for their fans that they're getting this. Speaking of Darby, post-match segment, huge pop for Darby making the save, right? And this eventual 8-man tag, or maybe they get someone else involved and it's a 10. I don't know what they're gonna do, but that pop, Bobby, that was like you when you come into the 4-hour podcast.
Yeah, no, I noticed that too. Like that really stood out. Like that might have been the biggest pop of the night, except for maybe the very end. But like, yeah, that was something.
Adam Cole's opening pop was fucking insane, right? That was like,
yes, that one too. Yes,
that was ridiculous. They must have heard different music or something. It was crazy. Oracle, are you researching this FTR matter?
No.
Okay, good.
They wrestled on a Raw in July 2017. They faced off, and FTR got the win.
How long was it?
13:21.
Just a Raw match. There you go, folks. Go watch it on the WWF Network. Apparently, they just had a match on Raw. Oracle, do you have any recollection of this match?
I thought they had wrestled once before. Was it one time?
Yeah,
What's
it was
the
in
date on this?
Nashville, and it was the Raw where Roman and Joe faced off in the main event.
That doesn't narrow it down. What date?
When was that?
July 17th, 2017.
It's FTR's return
Yeah.
after one of them got hurt for 3 months.
What was the finish in the Joe match?
It's a no contest, so
That's right. It was no contest because Braun came out.
Mhm.
I feel like they
It was the
wrestled a lot
build.
of Raw
That
main
was
events.
the build to the 4-way.
4-way. Yeah.
Yeah.
They wrestled quite. It feels like they wrestled a lot of Raw main events that went 3 segments. I remember them being long.
They had a great one on New Year's Day 2018. That's your best one.
Okay, and Joe's first night on Raw they wrestled too, didn't they?
Yeah,
Remember
which
when
is okay.
Yeah.
The backlash match is dreadful. But we know
God.
that.
Yeah, we covered that before. That's terrible. Okay. Yeah, so I did. JJ brings. I should have mentioned this earlier, but the ring looked like one of those toy rings. Bobby, you know what I'm talking about, right? Like it never makes. It popped me. I actually thought there was going to be a finish that involved that, but I think it was just a case of like the weaponry and such in the main event, which is fine. Main event, here it is. Firstly, Bob, this is directly for you. They made music for the cage.
They did. It's awesome.
You pumped your
Love
fist.
it. I did.
Oracle, your thoughts on making music for steel cages?
I'm reminded of when the Battle of the Billionaires when they had music for the hair chair.
I can't believe you just. I just asked that question. And your answer was, "I'm reminded of when." That was very profound, Oracle. Tremendous. Thunder Rosa's entrance was extraordinary. They got to it, and there was this moment in this match that was fucking hilarious, in which Britt got some juice. And like Rosa appeared so mad that this was not actual, like it was like very lame. She just started punching her. It was incredible. I mean, she was just punching her in the cut over and over again, like, get some real blood, coward. Rosa certainly didn't have the same problem when she got some. She was leaking. Yeah, look, this is my genuine take. You can analyze the mechanics back and forth, and I think there's fair critiques she made, whatever. The crowd, I thought, really were the crowd, they were pivotal to this thing because they added a certain level of drama that I don't think this would have had elsewhere. They were so into it. And for whatever I say about certain elements of her game, Britt is fucking tough. She does some crazy shit in there, and God bless her. The finish was fascinating because I think they were cut on time because they transitioned to the floor and then they just went straight back in and did the finish, right? And Aubrey said something, right, Bobby? What happened?
Yeah, it was like 8:59 and Britt rolled out of the ring and then Aubrey kind of went over there and Britt got right back in the ring and
go home. It was interesting. Look, it's a flawed match, but Waltz and I thought it was an enjoyable experience. And it does pop me this ongoing trend that Britt is like so much more watchable in this setting. Like it's kind of hilarious. Yeah, I had fun with it. Bob, what did you think?
I didn't like it overall, I don't think, but that also doesn't really matter because like the spots and the moment at the end and the entrances are all going to stand out and kind of outlive the actual mechanics of the match anyway, and sometimes that's what's important. Rosa finally winning the title and doing it in her hometown. She had a really cool entrance. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what matters. If you go back and watch that match they had last year, it's not, a technical classic, but not everything has to be, I guess. So maybe I framed it the wrong way when I was watching it the first time because it's going to be memorable, even though it might not have been the best.
Now, I'm an expert in this game, folks. I've been around for a long time. I understand this is a very particular position that Oracle finds himself in here as the color analyst that's about to close out this segment because I have led with the very optimistic stance that it was fun and I enjoyed it. Bobby he's gone in contrast, but he's done it with kind of kid clubs, which I respect. And that's why we love Bob. He's our friend. And Oracle will now decide whether or not it is deemed that we like this match or not. The ball is in his hands. Bobby is left it. He's lobbed it up. He said, Oracle, you decide. What did you think, Oracle?
I think ultimately, from a quality standpoint, this was a disappointment. I don't ever want to see these two wrestle ever again. Unless they have like a brawl for all match or something, that I kind of want to see that. But I'm pretty sure Rosa would win, but it's still popping. The parts where Rosa bare knuckled Britt's head were tremendous. I like when there was like 5 minutes left, she just decided to do it again. And Britt was like, ow, that hurts, and punched her really hard in the stomach. That was great.
That fucking ruled. She gut punched her, man. That was incredible.
I thought the last 5 minutes were tremendous in a way. I mean, they were like totally sloppy and totally out of control, but I think in a way it was, that's okay in a match like this in some ways. Very unprofessional. There seemed to be a lot of I'm not certain on that for sure, to be fair. Part of it was that they were rushing for time.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed, and they just had to kind of get to their shit. But there was some stuff that just felt intensely hateful, and it kind of ruled. Particularly Britt's desperation chair shot at the end, which seemed horribly unprofessional but awesome at the same time, even if it was a planned spot. And I like how Britt no-sold the powerbomb, thumbtacked the powerbombs to hit the chair shot, and Rosa no-sold the head, like the unprotected chair shot to the head. And then they just sort of like sloppily went to the finish. I hope they never wrestle again, like I said. Britt Baker should probably give QT a call. And the post-match celebration was great with Dustin.
Well, I said the Oracle would approach that in one or two ways. He certainly went the way I was assuming, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. Bobby is currently very relieved at his much less harsh stance, as am I. I'm going to just sit here quietly and conclude the show. I must say, Oracle, it doesn't seem like you enjoyed AEW Dynamite very much tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't feel like it was a waste of time, which is the important thing.
Bobby, what do you think? I have to, before you go, I'm very clear. I actually had a blast. And I'm not doing it. Oracle knows when I didn't have a blast. I genuinely thought it was a really fun show. But what did you think?
Yeah, I think all in all, I had a really good time. Kind of a couple things ran a little long, a couple things were laid out a little weird, but like overall, it was an enjoyable 2 hours.
Oracle, dare I ask you what you would give this program on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, I almost said something that might have got me in trouble, but I stopped.
Good. No penalty.
We'll discuss it later. But probably like a 4.5.
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Well, that fucking rules. Bob, what you got?
Probably about a 7.5.
Damn. That's like a... if Bob give it a 7.5, that's like a 6. Because Bobby's just nice. He's too nice. I'm not even like low. I'm genuinely like 8 minimum. I had a fucking great time.
I liked it a lot, but they've had better Dynamites. That's the thing. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. I liked it. Like,
sounds like you guys. Has something happened? You guys got offers? Have you got contract offers on the table?
No, I'm just an asshole.
Bob, what's your excuse?
I liked it. 7.5 is a good score.
Yeah, but we all know we Bob. Listen, I've seen some of the shows you give a 7.5 to. Okay,
That's a different time.
You know, there's you and I reviewed WWF Day One together, and we both give that a 7. And we were just nice guys.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, okay, 8 then.
No, I wasn't trying.
Whatever I need to give it, so it's actually a 7.5.
I'm just messing. Look, man, you guys can like what you like. I thought it was a tremendous show, and I say that even with like I get some of your criticism of the main event. I actually think there's a lot of truth to what you said, but I just thought it was fun. The standout deal to me, the opening trios. I love the Jericho segment. Love the advancement of Danielson and Moxley. Thought the TNT stuff was effective. I thought the main event was a hit. So I had a tremendous time, but you get what you get, I suppose. Bobby, do some promotions and such for yourself as we wind down here.
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Robert O'Neill 31. This is the last time I will be on here until Monday. So, if you miss me on here, you will be able to find me on there.
Find you?
What?
Is he going to find you? Who's coming to find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter. You just type the name in and pops up, and fairly easy. Yeah, that's really all I have to promote because I don't really know the schedule for the rest of the week, including tomorrow. I don't know that that's actually been decided yet.
Could have at least pretended. You should just announce something. Samoa Joe's birthday tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Is he coming on?
Yeah, he's taking your place.
Oh, damn.
Could you imagine? We just do the show as normal. Oracle talks about unprofessional wrestling and blade jobs, and Joe just sits there with one of those shit. Anyway, enough. Yes, a lot's going on. Oracle, any final words on a night in which you've officially turned heel? Your DMs will be filled with abuse and hate. How do you feel about what happened this evening?
I don't care. All these cowards talk to me all the fucking time on the chat. Why don't they come fucking find me and see what it's like?
Did you just challenge them to fight you?
Yeah, sure.
Hang on, did you just say they need to come find me and see what it's like? Like, you just gonna punch them?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Bob, you be a grinner. Oracle, you, of course, you're playing yourself here. You guys play this out a little bit.
Okay, ready? So I'm going to show up at your house, be like, that's me, at your door.
Here's what I'm going to do. When you show up at my house, I'm going to slap you like Regal does. And I'm going to beg that you punch me in the face like Regal said on commentary.
Wait, wait, stop. This isn't how role playing works. Hang on. But what is there no like bridge between? You just assume it's a grinner and slap them in the face.
Yeah.
Is there any steps before that? Does Bob like say, "Hey, you piece of shit, I didn't like your Dynamite review first"? At least, do you at least give it a moment to kind of?
Let me just say this. If you do the research and find me, and it actually does happen, you will be prosecuted to the full strength of the law. So do not do that.
I can't believe I set up a scenario where Bob was actually willing to role play and he did a knock at the door, and your take on that was, here's what's going to happen.
But
Okay,
before I call the police on you, I will fight you. So let's be clear.
Okay, so just to be very clear, it appears that many of you are now in danger. Is this only if they come to you? If you see them at a show?
Oh yeah, I'm not looking for anybody. They talk a lot of shit in the chat.
Damn. So like you're at a show, you're at AEW Dynamite in like July or whatever. So you're at SummerSlam. You're at SummerSlam,
Sure.
okay? And like a grinner comes up to you, he's like, hey man, I watched the show, I love the grinny bit, or, does all that, just as friendly. Do you immediately assume they've buried you in the chat, or are you friendly with them? How do you approach that?
With them?
Okay. Now if they come up to you and say,
"Hey, I remember that one show you said where you said you fight," and I'd say, "All right, collar and elbow, brother."
Collar and elbow.
Start calling spots right out there in the concourse.
Do you pass a razor blade over to him?
Maybe. I don't know, just my car key, maybe. Hope this one works.
Hope this works. Anything else you'd like to say as a final statement after just saying you're going to fight everyone in the chat if they confronted you about this?
No.
Could you imagine how funny it would be if Sonic Chikatsu was like, "Hey man, that March 16th review fucking ruined my night, man. Let's buy it." I respect it. Okay. Well, I guess this has been the AEW Dynamite review. I had a great time. Bobby was somewhere in the middle. Oracle appeared to watch Monday Night Raw, apparently. I don't know. He's very mad. He's threatening to fight people. This has been quite the event. This is probably going to be like one of the only times us three review Dynamite together, which, like, after this performance, probably is fitting, right? This should be like a one-off effort. We'll be back tomorrow. Oracle and I were planning what we were going to do tomorrow, right, Oracle? We were planning it. And we had a couple of ideas, and then we were just like, "Hey, man, what if we just show up without knowing what we're going to do?" That's what we're going to do. That's going to be on the paywall, latenightgrin.com. You can sign up for just $1. And we're going to have a lot of fun over there, Oracle and I don't know what time. I don't know what we're going to do. I think Jay Shell's going to be there. I'm sure it's fine. Friday, the free agents. Jonathan Gresham is the topic. He was in the news today. Jason and I are going to fantasy book some of that. Then the late night grin on a later time than ever after Rampage. Bobby will not be there. Jay Shell might be. If she's being rebellious and staying up late on a school night. It's not a school night. Friday night. My God.
I'm going to be honest with you. I can't go 4 hours on a
we're not.
Rampage that's starting at 12 o'clock.
Our plan is to finish on the time we usually finish.
Yeah, 3.
So yeah.
It could be like a 90-minute grand. It could be as low as that.
With no Bobby, we're going to be fucked because we have no one to dunk on.
Yeah.
Unless you but what if you just challenge people to fight you the whole time? That's what we're doing more on the paywall this week because the grin's going to be shorter. So, Oracle and I'll probably do something tomorrow. I did something earlier. And, this was fun. You can follow our platform at Late Night Grin. You can follow the Oracle of Wrestling at King Motivator H. He can also be found at the world famous Fuck AEW forums. You can find Bobby at Bobby O'Neill 12. Also on TNA Mecca's forums. Much to enjoy here at the Late Night Grin. Everyone have a great night. And please, beyond anything else, enjoy the outro. Bye, folks.